Today someone cried for you. It wasn't out of weakness, it wasn't out of pity. It was because in some way you touched this person. Maybe you didn't realize it, but something in your manner, in what you do, in what you face every day, stirred something deep. It was a cry from someone who cares, who feels what you perhaps don't even have the courage to say out loud. I know that many times you think that no one notices, that no one understands what's inside you. But that's not true. Believe me, there are eyes that see beyond what you show. There are hearts that resonate with what you feel, even though you've never said anything. This tear that fell today is proof of that, proof that your existence matters, that even in moments when you feel invisible, you are never truly forgotten. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact you have on the people around you, the strength you convey even when you feel like you're falling apart? This tear was a reaction to what you carry, to what you live, and even if you didn't realize it, it was a reflection of a silent love, of an admiration that doesn't need to be explained. You matter more than you imagine, and even if today was a difficult day, even if life seems too heavy, someone is with you, in thought, in energy, in soul. Don't doubt that. You matter more than you imagine. Even when silence seems to be the only answer the world gives you, even when days go by and no one truly asks how you're doing, even so, there are people who connect with who you are without you needing to say a word. This tear that fell today came from someone who noticed what perhaps you yourself have forgotten: your worth. You may be carrying a weight that no one sees, a weight that you don't even feel comfortable sharing. Maybe you are stuck in a routine that drains your energy, in doubts that keep you awake at night, or in a longing that seems too big for you to hold inside. But you know what is stronger than all of that? Your ability to keep going, to face it. And that's exactly what this person saw in you. Maybe you're wondering who it is. Who would be capable of feeling this for you, of crying for you? Maybe it's someone close, someone who crosses paths with you every day and notices the little things. How you help without expecting anything in return. How you persist, even when everything seems to be falling apart. Or it could be someone distant, someone you wouldn't even imagine, but who is inspired by what you do, by what you are. This person might not know how to put it into words, but they know how to feel it, and what they feel for you is real. That tear is not something empty. It's a reflection of everything you've given to the world. It's the love you gave without thinking, coming back to you in a way you might not have expected. Because as much as you think no one is watching, the universe finds ways to show that you are never alone. That tear is a response. It's an "I see you." It's a "you matter." If today you feel like nothing makes sense, like no one cares, I need you to know this. Someone cares. And more than that, someone feels. No matter how closed the doors may seem, there's an energy, a presence, something that connects you to those who truly value you. That person may not know how to help you directly, may not have the right words, but they feel your pain. And more than that, they believe in your strength, maybe even more than you believe right now. Have you ever realized how strong you are? I'm not talking about carrying the world on your shoulders without complaining, but about moving forward, even in moments when all you want to do is simply give up. That is strength. And it is this strength that moves those around you, even if you don't notice. That's why someone cried for you today. Not because you are weak, but because your struggle is visible even if you try to hide it. And I know it can be hard to accept this. Sometimes it seems easier to believe that no one cares, that no one notices. But this is a lie that pain tells to isolate you. Don't be fooled. Even when everything seems lost, there is a thread of connection that keeps you linked to those who care. An invisible but powerful thread. A thread that manifests in gestures, in thoughts, in tears. That tear was a gesture, a signal. Someone wished you to know that you are not alone, that, as tough as life may be, there are those who believe in you, that your presence in the world makes a difference even if you don't see it now. And do you know what's most incredible? This feeling, this connection, doesn't depend on you doing something extraordinary. It depends only on you being who you are. And that is already enough. Think about it. If someone can feel this for you, if someone can connect with what you carry, maybe it's time for you to look at yourself with a bit more kindness, to allow yourself to see what is good in you, what is true. Because even if you feel broken, there is beauty in that vulnerability. There is something unique in what you live, in what you are. And that's what touches the people around you. Maybe you have forgotten this. Maybe the rush, the problems, the pains have made you believe that none of this matters. But it matters. You matter. Not because you need to be perfect, not because you need to please or meet expectations, but because you are human. And to be human is to feel, to make mistakes, to try, to continue. And that's what someone saw in you. Not your flaws, not your doubts, but the essence of who you are. The struggle, the effort, the love you put into things even when no one seems to notice. That tear is a response to all of that. A reflection of the impact you have even on your most difficult days. Today, I invite you to accept this. It's not easy, I know. Accepting that you are seen, that you are important, takes courage. Because it means making room for love, for connection, for vulnerability. But you deserve it. You deserve to know that, even when everything seems to be falling apart, there are people who care about you, who root for you, who believe in you. I don't know what weight you're carrying today. I don't know what fears paralyze you or what pains make you want to give up. But I know you are not alone. I know that somewhere, someone thought of you fondly. I know someone cried for you because you matter. And above all, I know you deserve to feel this. You deserve to believe it. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to remember that even on the darkest days, there is a light that accompanies you. That even when you can't see it, there is a force that sustains you. You are loved, you are important, and you are never alone. You deserve to know that even when you feel like you're at the bottom, someone believes you can get out of it. That tear was a silent prayer, a wish that you find your strength, that you see what might be hard to see now. You have value. And more than that, you have a unique place in someone's life. Think for a moment about the people who have crossed your path. How many times has someone smiled because of you and you didn't even notice? How many times did the simple fact that you were there change someone's day? It's easy to forget those moments. It's easy to get lost in the pain, in the problems, in the gray days. But each one of those small gestures builds something bigger, and that's what makes you special. This tear that fell today carries a meaning that you might be underestimating, because it came from someone who cannot ignore your existence, someone who saw beyond the barriers you erected. And do you know what that means? That no matter how much you think you are alone, you are not. You never have been. There is someone somewhere who cares deeply, who misses you, who wishes you well, who believes that what you are living through today does not define who you are. And you don't need to do anything extraordinary to deserve this. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to carry the burden of trying to be perfect. All you need to do is exist, just continue, because your presence is already enough. And if there is someone who sees this in you, who feels this for you, then maybe it's time for you to start seeing it too. Life is not fair. I know. There are moments when everything seems to fall apart, when loneliness feels like a muffled scream inside of you. And at these times, it is almost impossible to believe that anyone can see you, that anyone can care. But the fact that someone cried for you today proves that this is not true. You are seen, you are felt, and you are loved. This tear is also a reminder that no matter how much you feel at the limit, there are people who care, who worry, who don't want to lose you. And I know that maybe these people don't know how to show it, that sometimes their love reaches you in silent, almost imperceptible ways, but it's there, and today it overflowed. Have you ever wondered why you keep going? Why, despite everything, you're still here? The answer is not simple. Maybe you've held on to little things, a smile, a memory, a feeling that no matter how bad things get, there's still something worth fighting for. And that tear is the confirmation of that even on the hardest days there are reasons to keep going. Even if you don't see them now, they exist, and someone sees them for you. Maybe you're tired of fighting, of trying, of believing that things can get better. And I'm not here to tell you that it will be easy, it won't be. But what I can tell you is that you are not alone in this. That even if life seems too heavy, there are those who are willing to carry a piece of that weight with you, even if it's from a distance. And that tear is the proof of that. You matter. This may seem repetitive, but it's something you need to hear. Because maybe you've forgotten. Maybe the circumstances have convinced you otherwise, but the truth is, your existence makes a difference. Not just to the one who cried for you today, but to many others you might not even imagine, to those you've helped without realizing it, to those who are inspired by you, even if they've never said so. Life has a strange way of connecting us. Sometimes, the people who see us the most are the ones we least expect, and those who feel our pain the most are the ones who seem far away. But these connections are real, and they are proof that you're not walking alone even if the road seems empty. There are people who see you, who feel you, who value you. And today, someone let that slip in the form of a tear. And now, what do you do with this? Maybe you don't know. Maybe it still seems hard to believe that someone could feel this for you. But all I ask is that you allow it. Allow yourself to believe that you are important. Allow yourself to accept that there is love around you, even if it's not always obvious. Allow yourself to continue, even when everything inside you wants to stop. This tear is an invitation to look at yourself with more compassion, to remember that you don't need to be perfect, that you don't need to carry everything alone. You just need to be you. And that is already enough to touch someone, to inspire someone, to be loved. Today, someone cried for you, not out of sadness, but out of feeling, for realizing how unique you are, how necessary you are. This tear doesn't solve your problems. It doesn't erase your pains, but it reminds you of something important. You are not alone. And as long as there is someone who feels for you, who believes in you, you will always have a reason to continue. You are not alone, and this is the truth I want you to take from here. Even in the quietest moments, when the world seems distant, and you feel that no one notices what is inside you, there is someone connected to you. This tear shed by someone today is proof that your life touches other lives in ways you cannot imagine. It is a reflection of the impact you have, of the emotions you stir, of the love that exists around you. What you do with this now is your choice. You can continue believing that none of this matters, that it's just another hard day among many others. Or you can look inside and realize that, despite all the difficulties, there is something in you that is worthwhile. Something that inspires, that connects, that transforms, and that the world, even on its darkest days, is a better place with you in it. This tear was not just a gesture of emotion, it was a silent plea, almost a whisper in the wind. Don't give up, because someone believes in you, even if you have stopped believing. Someone feels your pain even if you think no one notices. Someone deeply wishes for you to continue, to find the strength for the next step, to try once more. And that is what I want to ask of you now. Continue, even if it's difficult, even if it seems impossible. Continue, because there are people who love you, who value you, who want to see you succeed. Continue, because your life has meaning, because you have a purpose, even if it's not clear yet. Continue, because you are important, and because, even when you don't feel it, there are those who feel it for you. Now, I want to invite you to reflect on this. I want you to think about who you are, what you have faced, what you mean to the people around you. And more than that, I want you to share your vision, your story, your feelings, because your voice matters, your experience matters. Just as that tear was a gesture of connection, your words can be a bridge for those who need to hear what you have to say. If you felt something upon hearing this message, I want you to do 3 things now. The first is simple but powerful. Subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you ensure that you will continue receiving content like this, made to touch, inspire, and remind you of what really matters. The second thing is to leave your comment. Share your perspective. Tell how this message resonated with you. What did you feel? Who comes to mind when you think of someone who cares? Share this with us, and finally leave your like. It seems like a small gesture, but it makes a huge difference. It's a way of saying, I am here, I felt this, and I want more people to feel it too. Each like helps this message reach more people, touch more hearts, and remind more people that they are not alone. You have the power to be part of this chain, to spread this message to those who need to hear it the most, because in the end, we are all connected. We are all facing our battles, seeking strength, trying to find meaning. And sometimes, all we need is a reminder that we are not alone, that somewhere someone cares, you are important. Never forget that. And if today for a moment you doubt it, remember this message. Remember that while you feel you are at the bottom, there are those who see you with eyes of love, admiration, and hope. And remember that the tear that fell today is proof that you make a difference. Now it's up to you. Subscribe, comment, leave the like, and more than anything, keep going, because the world needs you exactly as you are.